Welcome to Fun Facts Daily, your source for just the good stuff. Monday through Friday, we're bringing fun facts and news you can use, all carefully curated to uplift and inform. So give yourself a break, relax, and learn something awesome in just a few minutes every day. Hi everyone, I'm Kyle Wood, and today we're going to be learning all about gold. But before we get into the facts, let's warm up our brains with a little challenge to see if you can tell fact from fiction. Consider this. Whenever we watch the Olympic Games, we almost always see the champions standing on the podium, smiling for the cameras, and taking a bite out of their solid gold first place medal. Many people believe this is because human teeth are hard enough to leave a mark on pure gold, proving that the prize is the real deal and not a gold-plated fake. But is this iconic bite test actually a reliable way for an athlete to verify the gold content in their medal? What do you think? We'll find out at the end of the episode. Now for your word of the day. Our word for today is malleable. That's M-A-L-L-E-A-B-L-E. Malleable is an adjective used to describe a material that can be hammered, pressed, or rolled into thin sheets without breaking or cracking. In the world of science and metallurgy, gold is the most malleable of all the metals, which is why it has been so prized by artists and smiths for thousands of years. The word malleable comes from the Latin malleus, meaning hammer. When you describe gold as malleable, you're literally saying it's hammerable. Because of this property, a single ounce of gold about the size of a large marble could be beaten into a translucent sheet of gold leaf covering about 100 square feet. It's so flexible that it can be stretched into a wire thinner than a human hair, proving strength isn't always about being hard. Sometimes it's about being able to bend without breaking. Time for your daily high five, our top 5 fun facts about gold. Number 1. Almost all of the gold ever discovered on Earth actually arrived here from outer space. Scientists believe that nearly all the gold found in the Earth's crust was delivered by a massive meteor bombardment about 4 billion years ago. Since gold is a heavy element, any gold present during the Earth's molten formation would have sunk deep into the planet's core, far out of our reach. The gold we mine today stayed near the surface because it hitched a ride on space rocks that crashed into our cooling planet long after the core had formed. To make matters even more stellar, gold can only be created during the massive explosion of a dying star known as a supernova, or the collision of 2 neutron stars. This means that every gold ring or necklace you see is literally made of stardust that traveled across the galaxy. Number 2. Gold is so chemically stable that it's technically edible and doesn't react with the human body. Because gold is a noble metal, it doesn't oxidize or corrode when it comes in contact with moisture or biological systems. In high-end culinary circles, tiny flakes of 24-karat gold are often used as a garnish on desserts or even pizzas to add a touch of ultimate luxury. Since the body can't digest it or absorb it, the gold simply passes through the digestive system completely unchanged. Beyond just being a fancy snack, this biological laziness makes gold incredibly useful in medicine. Doctors use gold for certain types of dental work, like crowns, because it won't wear down or react with the acids in our mouth. It's also used in specialized treatments for conditions like rheumatoid arthritis. Number 3. If you gathered every scrap of gold ever mined in all of human history, it would all fit into just over 3 Olympic-sized swimming pools. While gold seems to be all over the place in jewelry stores, bank vaults, and electronics, it's actually incredibly rare in the grand scheme of things. Experts estimate that throughout all human history, only about 200,000 metric tons of gold have been pulled from the earth. Because gold is virtually indestructible and almost always recycled, almost every ounce ever mined is still in existence today in some form. If you melted all that gold down and formed it into a giant cube, it would measure about 70 feet or 21 meters on each side. To put that in perspective, that cube would easily fit underneath the arches in the Eiffel Tower or inside the base of the Statue of Liberty. And this scarcity is exactly why gold has remained one of the most stable forms of currency and a symbol of wealth for pretty much every major civilization. Number 4. Gold has a unique fingerprint that allows it to be found in the most unexpected places, including the leaves of trees. In parts of the Australian outback, scientists have discovered that eucalyptus trees actually have tiny particles of gold tucked inside their leaves. Because gold is found deep underground, the tree's long roots reach down into the soil to find water, accidentally sucking up microscopic amounts of gold in the process. The tree then moves the gold through its veins and deposits it in the leaves, likely because the metal is slightly toxic to the plant and it wants to get rid of it. This discovery has changed the way geologists look for new gold deposits without having to dig massive, expensive holes. By just testing the leaves of plants in certain areas, miners can find signatures of gold hidden hundreds of feet below the surface. It's a perfect example of how nature and chemistry work together to hide and then reveal treasures in the most unlikely places. And our fifth and final fun fact for today: the visor on an astronaut's helmet is coated in a layer of real gold that's thin enough to see through. Outer space is filled with intense infrared radiation from the sun that can damage an astronaut's eyes and cause the temperature inside a spacesuit to skyrocket. To prevent this, NASA applies a layer of gold that is 0.000002 inches thick to the helmet's sunshield. Because gold is an incredible reflector of heat and radiation, it acts like a high-tech pair of sunglasses bouncing the sun's rays away while letting visible light pass through. The gold coating helps keep the astronaut cool and protected while they work in the direct path of the sun's glare. Without that thin gold barrier, spacewalks would be much more dangerous and uncomfortable. So even though it's a precious metal we associate with ancient treasures, it's also a critical piece of technology helping us explore the final frontier. Now for some news you can use. If you want to check and see if a piece of gold jewelry at a garage sale is actually real without damaging it, try using a strong magnet. Pure gold is not magnetic, so if you hold a magnet up to a gold chain and it sticks, you know right away that the core of the item is iron, nickel, or another magnetic metal that's just been plated in gold. Gold's atomic structure doesn't have the unpaired electrons needed to be attracted to a magnet. But keep in mind that most gold is 14 carats or 18 carats, meaning it's mixed with other metals like copper or silver to make it harder. Even with those mixtures, real gold jewelry should not be strongly attracted to a magnet, making this a great non-destructive first test for any treasure hunter. And finally, the moment you've been waiting for. At the beginning of the episode, I asked if Olympic athletes bite their medals to see if they're real gold. Well, that's a fallacy. While it's true that pure gold would be soft and malleable enough to show teeth marks, modern Olympic gold medals haven't been solid gold since the 1912 Stockholm Games. Today's gold medals are actually made of about 92.5% silver. They're just plated with about 6 grams of real gold. If an athlete actually tried biting a modern metal hard enough to leave a mark, they'd likely just hurt their teeth or damage that thin gold coating. But even in old-timey times, that whole bite test wouldn't be a reliable way to check a metal because gold is not the only metal that's soft enough for teeth to leave an impression. Lead is even softer than gold, and it was often used in counterfeiting, so a lead coin could also show teeth marks. The tradition continues today mostly just because photographers love the pose. It's an iconic image that represents tasting victory. So the next time you see a champion biting their prize, remember, they're doing it for the gram, not for the metallurgy. Now, I hope you enjoyed learning a bit about gold with me today, and be sure to tune in every weekday for even more fun facts. Fun Facts Daily is an Airwave Media podcast. It was written, recorded, mixed, and edited by me, Kyle Wood. Thanks for sharing a part of your day with me. Be sure to follow Fun Facts Daily on your favorite podcast app so you can keep the good stuff coming your way every day. And if you like the show, please do me a favor and leave a kind rating, review, or just tell your friends about it.